Hi everyone, just thought I'd do a little video about the euthanasia bill. We refuse to call it by its sanitised, nicely termed assisted dying, because what it is legalised murder, and people think that's an extreme way of framing it. But if you had a terminally ill relative, loved one, who was in so much pain 24/7, and you decided to take it upon yourselves because they were begging you to take their lives away, if you did that now, you'd be convicted of murder. So what this bill is doing, when it passes into law, if it passes into law, is it's legalising taking someone's life away. It's legalising murder. Now, I'm not a religious guy, but you know, in biblical terms, it is murder. It is murder. So you know, I don't care how you frame it with regards to they've signed a consent form and all the rest of it. That is what it is. That's why, you know, if you look at the figures from the Commons, all the Unionist MPs opposed this bill. And most of the Conservatives, to be fair, credit where it's due. Very disappointed in Reform UK. If they had 6 MPs, they probably would have been split exactly down the middle. But they've got 5, and 3 of them voted for it. 2 of them voted against. I don't know how Farage voted. I know Tice supported it. And it was carried because of Labour's huge stonking majority. Now, it was only 59% of Labour MPs that supported the bill, but that was enough to carry it. And it passed the Commons hurdle. Now, why are we so concerned about it? Well, if this bill, for the foreseeable future, let's say the foreseeable future, if this bill was set in stone to only be applied to people with chronic terminal illnesses who are in 24/7 pain, then I would understand that why so many people are supporting it, because that's what they think. That's what they think is happening. But that's not what's going to happen. So if we take Canada as a prime example of how things can proceed, Canada, obviously one of the main Davos states, Justin Trudeau, huge links to the World Economic Forum, obviously. Look what they did to the truckers, status of free speech in Canada, or the laws they're passing, including their euthanasia bills, which over the years has been amended and expanded to different groups, to the stage where they're now opening it up to the mentally ill. So if you're a little bit depressed, you can book yourself in and get someone to off you. Now, that's a pretty depressing situation in itself. Why do we say that this is where Britain could end up? Well, Keir Starmer works for the same people that Justin Trudeau works for. You know, and he doesn't make any secret of it. When he was asked by an interviewer a while back, do you prefer Westminster or Davos? His response, and he didn't really think about it too much, he just said Davos. So we know where his loyalties are. We know he hates this country, and he wants the world to be enslaved in this digital social credit system that Klaus Schwab and Bill Gates and Tony Blair are ultimately pushing for. And as soon as we've brought up Bill Gates, the reason why we link Bill Gates to the euthanasia bill in that meme or any kind of discussion really is the guy is obsessed with offing as many people as possible. You know, if you haven't seen the clips about him talking about depopulation, reducing the world's population dramatically, look it up. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's there for all to see. And his fellow globalists are all enthralled to this same plot. So anything, no matter how small, that will result in killing off people, he's all for that. What measures around the world normally dramatically reduce populations? Well, the two most obvious ones are wars and pestilence. And we know that globalists want to keep the world in a perpetual state of war. We know that from Ukraine. We know that before President Trump re-enters the White House, they've basically done as much as they can to push Putin to use the worst weapons imaginable. And pestilence, well, another Bill Gates video you might want to look up is one of him and his, I think, ex-wife now, Bill and Melinda, where he says that he talks about the next pandemic, and he says that you'll take notice of the next one, and his wife does this really menacing, sinister little smirk as he says it. You know, so these people, they take joy in killing human beings. They hate humanity. They think that we're a plague on the earth. We're useless eaters, to quote Harari. I can't remember his name. Harari, one of Klaus Schwab's right-hand men. We are useless eaters. Basically, he's talking about the proletariat, working people, ordinary people, useless eaters, and we need to be offed. So people like Bill Gates, yeah, we can off a few people with the euthanasia bills and expand it over the years until we get to a stage where we can start killing off all these disabled people and stuff. And what does that sound like? You know, that sounds like Nazism, doesn't it? He posted something on their main Facebook page earlier in the week, asking for people's thoughts on the euthanasia bill. And there weren't many comments, maybe, I don't know, 20 or something. There was one in support of the bill. Skip forward 3 or 4 days later, when they actually did the vote in the Commons, posted a meme with the vote numbers on, and a nice picture of the grinning globalist, genocidal tyrant Bill Gates. And all of a sudden, the comments are very sharply divided, 50-50. Last time I looked. Now, I don't know why that is. Why people don't see the bigger picture where this is concerned. But there we go. That's what it is. The media and the pollsters got behind this bill this week. So, you know, if you're taking and forming your opinions based on mainstream media, and newspapers publishing polls that say that 60%, 70% are in favour of this bill. If you're forming your opinion from that, then of course you are going to be arguing vociferously for the euthanasia bill. Now, when you watch the media, mainstream media, and you consume the information generated by these pollsters, what you've got to remember is that these organisations are also funded in part by the Gates Foundation, and that includes the BBC, by the way. This data is all readily available. The Gates Foundation funds all the major news outlets, and the same as they fund the scientists that deliver certain opinions on, whether it be COVID or climate change. And surprise, surprise, these people all come to the general conclusion of the same people that fund them. It's funny that. So, yeah, please be wary of just consuming mainstream news. Thinking about some of the comments that were made on Facebook about this. I can't quote because I'm out in the sticks, but yeah, there was one that said something like, if you don't know anyone who's been terminally ill and in horrendous pain or whatever, you can't speak. Right, okay. So we'll never speak about anything ever again then, because you want to talk about trans stuff? Are you trans? No. Well, don't talk about it then. Okay. You want to talk about the alphabet people? Are you a member of the LGBTQ plus alphabet society? No. Well, don't talk about it then. Okay. How'd the Villa get on, Rich? I don't know, because I'm not a Villa fan and I can't talk about it. It's a crazy way to shut down debate. If you have no experience, no personal experience of something, you can't speak of it. There was another one, another person said, "Oh, we can put our collies down." Yes, they're dogs. They're dogs. Now, dogs are lovely creatures. I think we've got a dog. There's our dog. Love him to bits. But in a few years' time, we'll probably have him put to sleep because he's a dog. He's not a human being. He doesn't go to church. He doesn't write religious texts. He is a dog. And I can speak about dogs because we've got one. Also, going back to a comment about, you haven't experienced this, you can't comment on it, you can't have an opinion. On no pain. If you've had gallstones, right, you'll be familiar with this. Now, unfortunately, because of the scamdemic, I had to wait 2 years for an operation. Now, okay, fair comment. People that have gallstones are not in 24/7 pain. But when pain strikes, in my situation, the attacks lasted 8 hours minimum, sometimes 12, up to 13 hours. Now, this pain is so unbearable, you can't sleep, it's impossible to sleep. Painkillers don't work, and you just have to ride it out. I went like that for 2 years. And then the day after the operation, I had the CO2 that they use to inflate your stomach to do the operation. I had that trapped inside my body. Again, unspeakable pain. So I know pain, and I'm not saying I don't sympathise with people who are suffering. My heart goes out to those people. I don't know much about Kim Ledbetter, not sure how you pronounce her name. I don't know much about her, except she comes across like a bit of an idiot. And I think that's what she is. She's a useful idiot. She doesn't realise that what she's instigated with this euthanasia bill is a slippery slope. So watch this space. As long as the uni party are in charge, the people that are controlled by Davos, this shit's going to continue. And it's going to get worse. Much, much worse.